Guys, I planned this video quite some time ago, my top 20 most complimented fragrances, as a lot of you were asking me what my recent most complimented fragrances were, as my last video was from 2018. But since we are in shelter in place here in San Francisco, I'm not wearing fragrances out obviously, but I am wearing them in. But these were all put together from several months ago as I compile my video ideas before I even shoot them. Anyway, today I'm going to talk to you about my 20 most recent, most complimented fragrances, and if you want to find out what they are, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. That's right, 20 of my most complimented fragrances. If you have watched my last one, and if you watch this today, you'll see that there are some fragrances that are still on here from the list. There are new fragrances that were not on the last list. So the reason for that is because sometimes I don't wear the fragrances as much as I wear the new ones, and these are the ones that I'm wearing a lot more, or I have been wearing, and I'm getting compliments from them, new or still getting compliments from the old ones that I'm wearing. So we're going to find out what the 20, there's 21 actually, not 20. We're going to find out what the 21 fragrances are. But if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. Let's jump right into it. We're going to start off right off the bat with this one right here, COROMANDEL from Chanel. This one really does get me compliments. So this is actually a fragrance that is patchouli forward or patchouli heavy dominant, but this is the one that gets me compliments. A lot of my other patchouli fragrances that I really like a lot more, like psychedelic or reminiscence patchouli or anything in that ballpark, seems to be like overwhelming, and those don't get me compliments. And patchouli usually doesn't, but this particular fragrance, for some reason, it does, because there's a very effervescent, slightly boozy quality about this. So it sparkles and glistens, and with my body chemistry I get really people asking me what I'm wearing. So it leaves a nice trail, and it really have some people asking me what are you wearing, and I say it's Chanel, it's Coromandel, and a lot of people do not know about Coromandel because it is, after all, part of the Less Exclusives collection. But then again, if you tell them a little bit and yada yada, they'll find out. This is actually a phenomenal release. It's probably my favorite Chanel fragrance, hands down, out of everything that they have. It smells great. And then there's also Sycamore, but this one really gets me compliments. Sycamore doesn't. I don't know why, but this one really does. Anyway, Coromandel, awesome stuff. Now this next one is one that I really love. It's very lemony, and this one gets me compliments. It's ACQUA VIVA from the house of Perfume ROMA. Now, you guys know this fragrance? Now this one, actually, some of you were asking me why I didn't feature in my citrus video. You know, I have so many fragrances. I can't feature every single thing in a video. So if I leave something off, it's because it's for a reason. I don't want to over push one particular fragrance. Plus, I feel like some of the other ones in that video were a little more important to feature then. But here, with this one, it garners me compliments. Now, this one was actually something I bought because I was a fan of Eau d'Adrien from Annick Goutal. I feel like this is a copy or inspired by that fragrance. Annick Goutal's Eau d'Adrien came out in the early 80s. It's still around, but I feel like this is the beast mode version of it. It's all about lemons and cypress trees. It's very it's a really wonderful concoction. It's got green properties or green qualities because of the cypress. It's very woody, but it's like a lemon bomb. If you like lemons, it's tart, it's sweet, altogether sour. It's phenomenal, but it gets really awesome compliments, especially when I'm sweating and it, you know, mixes with my chemistry. Anyway, Perfume ROMA ACQUA VIVA, wonderful stuff. Now this next one is a musk, and I'm obsessed with musks, and musks tend to get really lots of compliments for me, especially ones that are not animalic. They're more clean, and the ones that really kind of like come alive with chemistry. And this one really gets me lots of compliments. This is Mugler's Over the Musk. This one is an ambrette forward. It's got a little bit booziness, it's got a little bit medicinal, and it's got lots of fuzzy, warm, clean muskiness in there with a little bit of a Mugler DNA. But it is subdued. This one actually is subdued on me. It doesn't scream. It's not a loud fragrance. And sometimes loud fragrances do not get me compliments. In fact, people shy away from me when I'm wearing it too loud. But if I want the compliments, there's certain fragrances that I wear that will get me compliments. It's crowd pleasing, And this one really does. It's just the way it mixes with my chemistry, people want to smell me. And I think I bring out a little bit sweetness, and the fruitiness comes out from the amberette seeds in here. It just becomes wonderful. Over the musk from Mugler. This is from the Less Exceptions collection. That's right. Now this next one is one that I've been wearing and getting compliments all over the place, and ladies love this one on me. Every lady that really likes perfume asks me what I'm wearing. This is Intense Cafe from MONTALE. I haven't really gotten compliments from Ristretto. I feel like the coffee is a little more, but here it's milky, creamy, and I feel like the comforting quality has people, or ladies mostly, and some men, but most of them are ladies asking me what I'm wearing. This one's milky, coffee, rose, and amber, and some floral touches. It's really, really an awesome scent. I've turned it on to many ladies, and they've actually wanted a bottle themselves, and it's that kind of a fragrance. It's a very, very popular fragrance, but I haven't been trying to get compliments with Ristretto. I'm going to try a little once we get back out of this nightmare we're all in, to see if I can get compliments from Ristretto, but I still do not. I do get it from this one though. Intense Cafe from MONTALE, my favorite MONTALE. It's an awesome, awesome scent. Now this next one is another 13 from Le Labo. Man, this one leaves such a wonderful trail. It's one of those fragrances that's kind of like the Aventuses or the eccentric molecules or whatever. It's that kind of a fragrance. It's ambroxan and things like that, and those are the kind of fragrances that get me lots of compliments. Now Molecule 2 is not on this list because I don't wear it that much, but I feel like if I wore it a lot, I would get compliments. But I do wear this one, and I think the fruity touches in here mixed with the ambroxan, it's wonderful. It's really, really awesome. The trail it leaves is so sexy. I smell it off of me and I'm like, wow, what am I wearing? It's that kind of a fragrance. And people say, what are you wearing? It's clean, it's crisp, it's laundry clean, fresh, and when you're sweating out there in the heat, it's when people really ask you what you're wearing. I don't know if you guys are fans of this fragrance. I feel like Le Labo is a little overpriced for some of you guys. I don't hear a lot of praise for this brand, but let me know. And if you know this one, let me know as well. Another 13 from Le Labo. I do have 2 Le Labos on this list. My second one that I get compliments a lot is Bergamote 22. Now this one is almost like Aqua Viva. It's a great citrus. It's wonderful. And I do have some citruses on here. You'll hear a couple more, but this one just really does get me compliments. I think it's just a very, very pleasant, sweet, and sour or tart citrus combined together. It's phenomenal. It's probably my favorite Le Labo next to another 13. I do have a few others. I'm drawing a blank right now, but I feel like a wonderfully sweetly tart bergamot fragrance with floral and green touches. Definitely try this one, Bergamote 22, and the compliments will come in with this one as well. Now if you're noticing, I don't have a lot of intense fragrances. There will be a few here and there. Most of them are kind of like neutral, not overly loud and things like that. Some of them just do not get me compliments. But here we have another citrus, and I've spoken a lot about this one, but this one I wear a lot because it's kind of almost like a dumb reach, but a good quality dumb reach. It's Eau Sauvage, wonderful citrus from DIOR. Again, this one I feel like it's unisex enough for ladies to wear, but this one is very, very aromatic. It's a citrus aromatic with lots of citruses and herbal aromatic notes, and I feel like these are the kind of fragrances that really, really please or is pleasant for other people to smell, and especially that you don't know what these other people might like around you as far as smells go. Even if they do like any smells, then they're going to be like, oh wow, that's great, let me check it out. And they're going to like well, not necessarily like they're going to ask you what you're wearing and things like that, and they're going to inquire because they like the pleasant smell. Anyway, Eau Sauvage is wonderful from the house of DIOR. Check it out. And if you don't know this fragrance, you are missing out. It's one of the all-time classics from the 60s. Now this next one is one of the more potent ones. This is Portrait of a Lady from the house of Frederic. I get compliments with this one. There's a few that are really, really loud that I get compliments from, and this is one of them, and there's a few more coming up. I just don't understand why this is, but I feel like this patchouli, rose, and incense, and spices, and raspberry, I think it's that raspberry twist that's in there that really kind of like makes everything come alive, and people tend to like it. There's also cassis in here. Maybe perhaps it's both the cassis and the raspberry, but the raspberry I feel like it's more prominent than that cassis note. But whatever it is, people always ask me what I'm wearing. It's louder, not necessarily when I'm over spraying it. Maybe more when I'm like subdued sprays, like less. And then just mixed with my chemistry, I feel like people really are attracted to the smell and they like it. It's spices and incense and patchouli. There's a few patchouli fragrances, not a lot, but this one is one of them. Portrait of a Lady is from the house of Frederic Malle, and I believe this one was on the list last time I did this video as well. Now this next one is a new one. I'm not telling you which ones are new or not, but this one is definitely a new one. It's Juliette Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes. Not sure why I get compliments with this one, but it's I think it's the saltiness. And with the saltiness with my sweat, when I'm sweating, the projection kind of beefs up and people are attracted to it because the combination of sweet notes, people love sweet notes, and mixed in with the saltiness with me and the salt in here, it's just a wonderful concoction. And when you leave a trail, a sweet, salty trail, and people are drawn to it. I feel like that's what it is. And people are attracted to the way it smells. I really love this one. It is really a great scent, and it's also not overly priced. It's like $130 to $40 for 100 ml, and I overuse this. I overspray it. It's so good. It's really, really wonderful because people like it, and most of the time it's women that really like this one on me, and I think it's the vanilla with the salt that really gets them. Anyway, this is Vanilla Vibes from the house of Juliette Has a Gun. Now this next one is fairly new, but I started wearing it last September in Cannes. It's Atomic Rose from INITIO Parfums. So INITIO's Atomic Rose is a really, really wonderful rose. Now, rose is a very tough note for me. I feel like I don't get a lot of compliments with rose, but this one seems to do it. But there are a few other roses, especially in the last list. This one, what I like about it is the green, not bitter much, but like a green stemmy rose. The thorns and the leaves with that rose, and then in the background of this one, there's like a Baccarat Rouge thing happening, and it's something in the notes. I think it's the ambroxan or the hedione note in here really kind of gets people and gets people to ask me what I'm wearing. It's just people come and sniff me. So that's good about this one. And you know, even though it has that Baccarat Rouge thing, it doesn't really last too long. I feel like the rose and the greenness is a little more potent than the Baccarat Rouge thing. I mean, there's other fragrances that smell like full-on Baccarat Rouge. This one doesn't too much. It's there though. You will not, I mean, you will not notice it. You will definitely notice it. So, but it's great when you get the compliments from people asking you what you're wearing and things like that. Anyway, Atomic Rose from INITIO Parfums. Wonderful compliment getter. This next one is a surprise compliment getter, but I can see why. It's a vetiver, and it's Belle d'Afrique from the house of BYREDO. This has become a classic for me. It smells wonderful. It's a crowd pleaser. It's not a vetiver that's earthy, woody, black, inky, dark, leathery kind of vetiver. It's a very, very pleasant leather, and the marigold note in here along with the vetiver is just phenomenal. I think it's a scent that's a winning scent. Like, you know what, they've created something that smells wonderful, and I've smelled products at hotels that smell like this without the BYREDO name on it, so it's been copied. It's that good of a fragrance. And when there's a brand or some products are copied from a certain perfume smell, it means it's a winner, and this is definitely a winner. It's wonderful, and the compliments that come with this one are amazing. Men and women compliment me with this one, and I feel like I bring out a little more masculine touch, and I feel like the overall scent is a little more unisex. Not necessarily feminine, but more unisex. But with my chemistry, it's a little more masculine. I get a little more darker, not as bright. But it is an overall bright scent for me for a vetiver, and it's a very easy to wear vetiver. So this is BYREDO Belle d'Afrique. Wonderful fragrance. Wonderful, awesome fragrance. Definitely my favorite BYREDO. All right, here's that thing again with the Baccarat Rouge inspired. It's definitely not inspired by Baccarat Rouge, but they have that kind of an accord in here. It's MIZENSIR for your love. Compliments galore. This is one of the sexiest musky fragrances ever. I took this on Europe trip last year, and it was always traveling in Italy and the south of France, and it was hot, 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 hot. And the trail I was leaving was amazing because with the humidity, the scent amplifies, and it's got like raspberry in here. It's got like patchouli. It's got like musk and ambroxan. So all those notes combined together, and my sweat and everything left a wonderful trail. And people would always ask me what you're wearing. The thing I like about this one is an amazing musk. It's so musky, and combination of my chemistry and the muskiness of this, phenomenal comments everywhere. Sadly, this brand has not made it here to the States yet, and this particular fragrance is a little hard to find as well, but it's phenomenal. For your one more thing I want to mention. Again, there is that Baccarat Rouge thing happening in here again, but it's not like full-on in-your-face Baccarat Rouge. I feel like they've taken the ambroxan type note in here and added it here, and that's why it smells a little bit like ambroxan. Anyway, MIZENSIR For Your Love. All right, we've got two from the house of eccentric molecules. We're going to go with molecule 1 first. This one right here. It's a no-brainer, guys. This is a no-brainer. It's these kind of scents that really get me compliments because they're not so loud. I love to overspray, don't get me wrong, but loud fragrances never get me compliments. In fact, people stay away from me because it's so loud. But when I wear skin scents or when I wear fragrances like this, minimalistic, it blends with my chemistry and people are drawn to me more and they ask me what I'm wearing and things like that. And this is a really, really wonderful ISOE super forward or dominant fragrance. In fact, that's all that's in here. It smells a bit like cedarwood and sandalwood combined, maybe more cedarwood, but people say it's sandalwood. Anyway, it's phenomenal. This is great, and it's also great to layer. You can add this to something that's needing to be boosted up. Like I feel like you can totally add it to this and it would be amazing, but there are other things that you can add it to, but all by itself, lots of compliments. This is molecule 1. And 2, it's molecule 4, my favorite. It smells so good. I'm actually, molecule 1 and molecule 4 are tied, but I feel like molecule 4 is phenomenal. Molecule 4 is a Javanol, which smells like sandalwood, and this is one of the best synthetic forms of sandalwood. It's very creamy, it's milky, it's soft, it's wonderful, and people love the smell. It's cozy and comforting and warming, and people kind of like are drawn to you and ask you what you're wearing. It's great. It's wonderful, and I love receiving those kind of compliments especially when I'm sitting at a bar and it's been hot outside. I go in and it's like air conditioned and my sweat is kind of like, you know, coming off the wherever I'm sitting and people are taking whiffs of me. But anyway, this is awesome. This is molecule 4 from Eccentric Molecules. And speaking of that one fragrance that keeps coming up, Baccarat Rouge, yes, I do get compliments with this one. In fact, I like this one, and I've been wearing the X-ray version recently. I don't know where that bottle is right now, so I pulled the original. Awesome. Lots of compliments with this one. People love this smell and people recognize it as well. That's the kind of weirdness about it. Sometimes they can't recognize it when I'm wearing the X-ray because this one is actually more recognizable, but then they kind of guess. But this one is phenomenal, and it was very it was not a lot at first sniff. I have a full video about this. Go check it out if you're curious. I was not really into this scent or anything like it for a long ass time. Excuse my language. But here, I'm drawn to it now and I love it and I can't get enough of it. It smells wonderful. But you know what? My nose palette had to appreciate scents like this. It didn't appreciate it, I guess, and now it really does love it. In fact, I wouldn't have appreciated the other sort of Baccarat Rouge cloned fragrances or inspired fragrances, but this one, people love it on me. It smells great, and mixed with my chemistry, even better. When I project it off of me, people go, what are you wearing? What's that smell? It's wonderful. It's Baccarat Rouge. Go check it out. Anyway, that's Baccarat Rouge from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Now this next one is such a surprise for me. I'm obsessed with this smell and I can't get enough of it. I can't wait for sweaty, warm, humid days and this pandemic to be over with so I can go out and wear and sweat this, because this one really comes alive. This is DS and Durga's I Don't Know What. Now this one is meant to be a primer to layer it with fragrances, but on me in the heat, it's phenomenal. People are really drawn to the way it smells. There's some fruitiness to it. There's some slight animalic touches to it. There's like ambroxany touches, woody touches. It's so wonderful, guys. Don't diss this one. It smells great. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is when I first smelled this one, Molecule 1, I was anosmic to it. I couldn't smell it, but I trained my nose and I can smell it now. You might have that same experience with this one. You might be anosmic to it because the first time I smelled it, I couldn't smell it, but I smelled it in LA and it smelled wonderful in that humid weather in LA, and I had to get a bottle because it smelled so good on me and off the bottle. It's phenomenal. You can use it as a fragrance on its own, or you can use it just to layer it, but on its own it's phenomenal. It smells great, and that lemony citrus touch comes through and it's phenomenal. Anyway, I Don't Know What from the house of DS and Durga. Wonderful fragrance. Now this next one is one of the more stronger fragrances. This is Tobacco Vanille, and Tobacco Vanille is my holiday time fragrance, and people just love it on me and always ask me what I'm wearing. This is one of the louder fragrances, I said, but what I like about this one and what people like about it is the vanilla. Here it is with the vanilla. And mostly, no, I get some compliments from men with this one, but a lot of ladies do love that vanillic tobacco spiciness, and it's just really, really awesome. Tobacco vanilla will never go out of style. I know it's maybe perhaps overrated and people, too many fans, and it's like, I don't know. I love it. It's a great, great release. It's been copied many times, but I think the original is the best. Anyway, Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. Awesome stuff. Now this next one is another one that's pretty phenomenal, and I just love the way it projects off of me also in the heat, and also how people are drawn to it and ask me what I'm wearing. It's MANCERA's Hindu Kush. This is a great scent, guys. Now, there is something in here that doesn't smell like it's going to be a crowd pleaser or a compliment getter when you put your nose to it. But when it's mixed with your chemistry, with your body and your sweat, that's when people compliment you. And the trail you leave behind is the freaking sexiest. That's what people like. Something in here with the notes of patchouli and the green cannabis-like notes and ambery and woody touches. It's fantastic. It's really, really awesome. And people always ask me what you're wearing. What am I wearing? What are you wearing? I'm going to tell them what it is, but you're probably not going to know what it is because you're probably only used to what's sold at Macy's or stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you it's MANCERA's Hindu Kush. It's wonderful. To me, also, it doesn't smell like it's the name of the fragrance, but then I don't really care because it gets me so many compliments. It's wonderful. Anyway, Hindu Kush from MANCERA, phenomenal. This next one I spoke about in my video, citrus fragrances video, or the orange fragrances video. This is Afternoon Swim. Man, this one is so sexy on me, and also people love it on me. People just love it. It's a nice, pleasant, and comforting orange citrus fragrance. People just go crazy on about this on me. Just wonderful. It's got even though there's only oranges and citruses listed as the notes, but something under there's like a really sexy musk and like light touches of woody patchouli, sparkly patchouli. It's effervescent, and that's what I love about it. In the heat, this is phenomenal. It's great scent. It's very cozy and comforting, especially for orange fragrances. Anyway, Afternoon Swim from Louis Vuitton is phenomenal. So we've got a few more left. Incident Diplomatique. I still get compliments with this one. Sadly, I don't get compliments with a lot of the other Jovoys, but this one does. And it's not about compliments for me. I love smells. For me, it's first thing is about the smell. If I like the smell, I'm going to enjoy it. But for compliments, this one gets me compliments. And I think this is a nice, nice balance of vetiver and patchouli together equally. Maybe vetiver is a little more potent than patchouli, and I think that's what gives this fragrance the compliments. And again, trails are phenomenal. It is on the stronger side, so be careful. So minimal sprays will get you more compliments than loud sprays. If you want the compliments, again, my rule is don't overspray, because if it smells too strong, people would want to stay away from you. But if you find a nice balance of sprays and people start smelling you and are really interested and like the smell, then that's when you're going to get the compliments. And this one does not disappoint, guys. This is a nice combo of vetiver and patchouli with some ambery touches. It's phenomenal. It's Jovoy Incident Diplomatique. Awesome scent. And last but not least, Hachiva from the house of Nishane. This one gets me lots of compliments. And this one you got to go easy on the trigger, because this is on the beast mode side. It's potent. And you got to just keep your sprays to a minimum. So spray a little bit, and it goes a long way. It lasts all day. And again, once again, it's mixed with your chemistry, your sweat, and your projection off of you when you heat it up, when your body heats up a little bit. That is when people smell you and really, really compliment you. That's what happens with the scent all the time. Whatever is in here, the notes are very, very magical. Just projection and all of that. It just comes alive. And it's an awesome scent. It is, you know, people mention Aventus all the time, but it's more than Aventus. I feel like the oak moss in here is a lot stronger, less fruits, less pineapple, all of that stuff. Very, very woody, but there's like a magic note in here that kind of like just makes people come close to you. Anyway, Hachivat from the house of Nishane. That wraps up my list, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on these fragrances. Have you tried them? Are you familiar with them? Do you like them? Or maybe you hate them. And what fragrances do you guys get compliments from? And let me know this rule. Do you spray overspray, or does that, you know, get you the compliments, or are you like do you have a fine balance of sprays where you do that will get you more compliments versus when you don't spray enough or overspray. Please let me know. And let me know what fragrances that you guys are getting compliments from, because I like to find out. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys are staying safe. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.